Hello folks, my name is Mark. This is Mark's Toy Reviews. How you guys doing? So what I've got here are a very large number of Masters of the Universe Filmation figures from Super 7. And for those of you who don't know, what it was is that these figures are done up in the style of the Filmation counterparts of these characters. So oftentimes back in the day, especially with He-Man, like the figures wouldn't really look like what you saw in the animated TV show. You know, the toys would have like lots of details and things like that. And what they would do is they would take the characters and simplify them to make it easier to animate. But also, we also got a couple of TV show exclusive toys that like never were released as actual toys back in the day. You know, for example, Shadow Weaver and another one called Evil Seed. So that was really kind of cool. I really would have liked to have seen more of that. But anyway, I've been kind of like stockpiling these for a little while because I haven't had a lot of time to like do videos, so I figure I might as well just knock these all out of the way all at once. So hang on, because I've got kind of a lot of them to go through. So let's just sort of, you know, jump right into it. Now I already did a video for the first original four that came out, He-Man, Skeletor, Hordak, and She-Ra, so that's a separate video. So what we got here is Prince Adam. Looking pretty good, you know, he's got, let's kind of bring him a little closer so you can see more details there. Let's see, there goes Prince Adam. He's got the standard He-Man face. He's got his sort of like, you know, pink and purple leotard. So that was one thing that the old Prince Adam figure was a lot more purple, you know. It had like a darker kind of magenta purple sort of vest and things. And if you look, this is actually just the He-Man toy, but repainted. This is the Super 7 animated He-Man, you know, Filmation He-Man figure that they came out with. So we'll set him aside. I don't know if I'll be opening most of these. I mean, some of them I'm going to open for sure, but, you know, most of these I'm probably going to keep in the packages. Here's Gold He-Man, which I'm guessing this is from an actual episode of the show. I don't really know which one. But you can kind of look on the back here, at the back of the card. You know, it's like He-Man gets turned into a statue or some shit. So, same thing, basically He-Man painted gold, but I do like how he's got like gold swords and a gold shield, so that's kind of cool. Let's set him off to the side. Alright, now we got Man-at-Arms. So, Man-at-Arms was always awesome because the Man-at-Arms toy didn't really look very much like the actual character in the show. First off, he had a mustache. So this character here, you know, Man-at-Arms here actually has the mustache. Let me get him closer. Get rid of that glare. So that's kind of cool. He actually looks like, you know, the thing there. And then he's also got like a symmetrical kind of thing going with his arms. Right, because the old Man-at-Arms toy only had one of these arm guards going on his arm there. And then we have Crystal Man-at-Arms, which I'm guessing this is also another episode where he gets turned into crystal. I think I remember this one actually. Like, let's see, it's kind of move that up there. Yep. So that's kind of cool. I remember that one. Skeletor turns him into crystal, and they have to go get some kind of, you know, MacGuffin magic thingamajig to like turn him back. Trapjaw. Trapjaw is always one of my favorites. That actually looks pretty awesome. Check that out. You know. So I'm trying to avoid that glare that I get from this fucking cheap-ass ring light that I'm using, but whatever. It actually looks really good. I like how the arm, you know, it all matches. It looks like he comes with some stuff. And then just to kind of compare him, so you can see the difference. This is the vintage Trapjaw. So you see how this one's like a lot more easy and, you know, this one's a lot more simplified. Something that you could like draw over and over 100 times, right? Pretty cool, pretty cool. I most definitely will be opening this one. Here's Shadow Weaver, which is one that, this is one that I'm really happy to actually get. Shadow Weaver is a She-Ra character that was never released in the vintage line. Looks like she comes with some kind of staff or something. So that's pretty freaking cool, Shadow Weaver right there. Always need more characters to flesh out the evil horde. Okay, now here's a couple of other ones. Let's see, we got Evil Lyn and Teela. So they look a lot closer to their animated forms. Teela in particular was a lot different than what we actually had as a toy. In fact, I've got my Teela toy Tila was one of the original He-Man toys. Legs are a little loose there, so you can see it's like OG vintage. And she came with this like snake armor and shit, right? And then in the cartoon, they didn't do any of that stuff. She just was like, you know, the royal guard. She wasn't like a sorceress or whatever. So that's kind of cool. I'll be opening that one for sure. All right. Then we got some other ones. We got this guy, Evil Seed. So this is another Filmation exclusive figure that was never released in the vintage line there. You can kind of check him out. I think he was only in like one episode though. Kind of like an evil plant guy, you know, can control like vines and stuff. And then of course Beastman. Beastman looks really cool. Kind of center him there. Right on, right on. But you know, you can see it's essentially the same design, just a lot more simplified, a lot rounder, a lot cleaner. Doesn't have all those little details that the old figure did, you know. Try to get rid of that glare on there so you can kind of see what he looks like. Pretty nice, pretty nice. Then, of course, we have Orko, which is, in my opinion, a much better Orko than the Orko that we had in the vintage line. It actually looks like the character. The one that we had, the old Orko that we had was kind of tall, like this. It was like much bigger, and it had like a pull string so that it would like fly around and stuff. And this Orko looks like, you know, he's more in scale with the actual figures and looks like he's got some magic tricks or something. So I'll be opening that guy for sure. And now we have a couple of other ones. Let's put these down here. We've got Frozen Tila. I'm guessing this is from some episode where she gets like frozen into a statue or something. I'm not really sure. We've got Shadow Orko, the magical shadow of Orko, which I don't remember that episode. If Orko loses his shadow or something, but basically it's just a black Orko, which is kind of cool. And then we've got Transforming He-Man, which I think this glows in the dark. I'm not really sure, but it's basically, the idea is that it's like he's in the middle of transforming, so you can reenact the I have the power transformation. Right. Nifty, but you know, I'm probably not going to open that. I'm probably going to save that, just because, you know, shelf space is at a premium. That's another reason why I haven't really done this video, because then I got to put them on the shelf, and it's like I don't really have a lot of space left in my shelves, you know. I'm starting to run out, so got to be really selective about which ones go on the shelf and which ones stay in the boxes. Right. Maybe it's time to cull the sick and the old from the herd here. 3 more figures. Got Murman, Stratos, and then one more, Buzz Off. So these, I'm not really sure if how many of these guys actually appeared in the show. I know Murman did a lot. Murman's face is very accurate with the TV show, so that's kind of cool. So, folks, I'm obviously not going to open all of these guys, else this video is going to be like, you know, 40 minutes long or whatever. But let's just choose a few. Let's see, I think I'll open up Murman to begin with, because he was always one of my favorite characters, and currently I actually don't have the vintage Murman, so they're going to have to be my stand-in until I get hold of the vintage toy. Actually, let's take a look at this first before we tear it open too much. Let's see, he's got that really nice vintage artwork going right here. Murman with the Crimson Pearl at his command seeks to overthrow his enemies. Rah. I really like this artwork, and then of course, you know, the old school packaging. That's exactly what it looked like on the old packaging with each figure. So yeah, let's tear this guy open. Alright. This is bringing me back to 1983. That's very nice. Let's see. So I think, yeah, these didn't come with comic books, unfortunately. But it looks like they have this kind of title card looking thing. Let's see, that's kind of hard to see there, isn't it? Yeah, my light is too bright. Let's just turn down the light just a little bit so you can see that. There we go, much better. Comes with this kind of title card backing, and then from Toy to Tune explaining, you know, how they like tried to make it look like it was the actual cartoon. Okay, and here goes Murman. He's got a plastic bag on his foot. Very nice, very nice. I really like that color. Wow, that actually looks pretty freaking awesome. It's very tight. the limbs. Legs do not have rubber in them. They've got that kind of Hasbro sort of thing going. I've heard other people say that this can break pretty easily, so I'll just be very careful with that. I mean, that could be a problem, like, I guess if you were going to put them inside of, like, any of the vintage vehicles on top of Battle Cat, something like that. So, that's something to be aware of. I mean, for me, I'm just basically putting them on the shelf, you know, posing them, you know, that kind of thing. Maybe once in a while I might make some kind of, like, you know, battle scene or whatever. But I'm not really putting them through heavy play. Let's see, opening up the weapons here. Okay, comes with his classic sort of corn sword. I always thought this looked like a corn on the cob. Let's kind of focus on that. Focus, there we go, so you can kind of see it. You know, it always looked like corn to me. But I guess that's some kind of seed thing. And that actually is very close to what we got in the vintage toy. Yeah, it fits in his hand pretty well. Right on. And then he also came with this spear, which is, from what I understand, what was more commonly seen in the Filmation shows. So, spear fits in that hand, and then I think you can put his sword over here because his sword's got the little handlebar thingy. You know, one thing I never got was how come they didn't make just both hands a grasping hand like that. Anyway, yeah, that's actually pretty badass. I'm very, very happy with that. I mean, I really like the look on his face there. He's just sort of like... So that's hardcore. Definitely happy with that one. So now I think I'm going to have to open up... Where's Evil Seed? Alright. This one doesn't have a vintage equivalent, so... Let's check them out one more time. Let's look at the... that's pretty cool, that artwork right there. He's got like vines, like, you know, attacking him and shit like that. What's it say? With all the plant life at his command, Evil Seed renders He-Man and Teela helpless. Wow. Pretty hardcore. Let's tear him open. Alright. So I think eventually I will open most of them. I'm probably not going to open the repainted ones, you know, like Transforming He-Man or Shadow Orko or Frozen Teela. I'm probably going to keep those in the package. This used to happen to me too when I was like, you know, I remember this when I was a kid, like the back would come off and the rest of it wouldn't. That's okay. It's just like Christmas all over again. Alright, here's the Evil Seed. Kind of backing there. Pretty cool. And let's check out the toy. Pretty cool. He's only got, let's see, his head moves. So he's got 2 arms and a moving head. Let's kind of get a focus on that. That's actually badass. Pretty nice. I know they made this character in the Classics line as well. And let's look at his weapons. Let's see here. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, he comes with a shield. Okay, I'm guessing the shield can go into that hand. So one thing I do notice here is that this plastic is kind of tough. So it may be. Oh, hey, his wrists actually spin. Wow, that's something you didn't really see a lot with He-Man toys. Wrist articulation. Okay, his hand is really, really tight. I'm having problems getting that in there, so I'm not going to force it. And then this one, I guess these are like power roots that shoot out. Okay, well that fits right over, so that's kind of cool. Like, rah. Right. He's got that root thing that kind of shoots right out, so that's kind of cool. Okay. Yeah, I'm a little kind of disappointed in this thing. This thing is a little... Oh, I guess it fits into... Oh, I guess it's meant to fit into this hand. Okay, so that's kind of cool. So yeah, something to be aware of, you know. The hands are not very flexible. So that could, you know, that could potentially be a problem. If you're like, you know, if you actually are giving these to children to play with, they could probably break pretty easy. Right. And let's see, let's open up one more for this video. Let's do a Trapjaw, because Trapjaw is hardcore. Trapjaw was always like one of my favorite characters back in the day. In fact, I think I'm probably not the only one to say that, because he was like some kind of like cyborg, but he wasn't like a high-tech cyborg. You know, he was like sort of like a steampunky kind of you know, kind of poor man's cyborg. Like he always had like, it looked like the old figure looked like he had scavenged parts and stuff. That was kind of cool. There is Trapjaw's title card back there. Pretty awesome. And here's the toy. Wow, Trapjaw. Does his jaw move? Yes, it does. Jaw moves. Right on. That's hardcore. I'm actually very, very happy with that. And let's take a look at Trapjaw's weapons, because you can't have Trapjaw without the detachable weapons. So he's got basically the same weapons that the vintage toy had. So he's got a hook and a claw and a laser gun. So that's cool. I know that in the TV show they'd show him with all kinds of weird other stuff. Like, you know, he'd have like a kind of bow and arrow looking thing and like a sword and some other things. So that actually fits right in. That's actually really very nice. Okay. In fact, you know what? Let's compare him. So just so you can kind of see the difference, here is vintage Trapjaw. Whoa. And then this is Filmation Trapjaw. So you can kind of see, like, take a look at his face. You know, it's like, and his armor and stuff. It's a lot more, it's a little more detailed, you know? It's a little more, you know, steampunk kind of looking, right? Versus, like, say, this one, animated one is a lot more clean, easier to animate. So you can kind of see the difference about how they, like, how they simplified it to make it look like, you know, easy to animate and stuff. So, anyway, I think that's all we're going to do for now. I have, like, 15 other figures to open up, and I'm obviously not going to sit here and unbox every single one of them. But, anyway, I'm very, very happy with these guys. I'm kind of sad to see that there's not going to be any more of them. And the reason why is because the license went back to Mattel, because Mattel is going to put out a brand new series of He-Man toys later this year, which is going to be freaking awesome as hell. And what they are is that they're going to be using the same kind of body as these guys, right? But it's going to be like modern articulation. So they'll have like shoulder joints and elbow joints and knee joints and all this stuff. But it's going to look like this. Oh shit. But it's going to look like this. So that's going to be fucking awesome as hell. And that's coming later this year. They already have out right now the Wrestlers of the Universe crossover. And basically they're going to be the same kind of body types as those. So I haven't gotten my hands on any of those yet because they're like Walmart exclusives and I don't like going to Walmart, so I'm like probably going to get them on the secondary market or something. But anyway, yeah, I'm very stoked. And I'm very happy to see that these came out even at all. The fact that we even got them was really, really cool. And, you know, I'm happy that we're getting more He-Man stuff. You know, it's kind of sad to see that there won't be any more. I know there were some other Filmation exclusive characters I really would have liked to have seen in this scale. Lizard Man, for example. You know, that's another one that would always show up on the show and we never got a toy of. But, you know, I think we've still got some really cool things coming for He-Man in the future. So, anyway, thanks a lot, folks. Adios.